without any further ado, I am so excited to bring our trainer up here right now on the screen to be teaching and sharing with us, getting prepared for your best holiday selling season ever. Let's give it up for Miss April Scott. And I'm going to put this on. Oh, and she's going to be doing marketing for Edie's debut on Friday. All right. I hope.
Yep.
Catherine, I said, well, Catherine, will you ask her, because I think she'd be great at it. So, okay, here you go. Speaker view. Everybody else, mute out.
Thanks, Denise. Thank you so much. That was exactly what I think we all needed to hear. And I just slipped off my chair and about fell out, slipped off my armrest. In case you wondered what happened, I just slipped off my armrest. I didn't fall. Oh, yes. So I'm excited to share tonight because this is the beginning. I know school just got in session. Most of you, if you have kids, are just getting back into a routine. And the holidays are going to be upon us before we know it. They are really right around the corner. Think about it. Wasn't it just Easter? Like 4th of July? I mean, everything is moving so quickly. So you have to plan. You have to plan. And in that, I love the holidays. I love that we have a date and sometimes kind of set up now for our, save the date that I'll be talking about on our holiday open house at the studio. And whether you're going to do one virtually, whether you're going to do one at your home, whether you're going to do one with us, whatever your decision is, you got to have a plan. So I want to kind of cut it back and go back to basics, just because, I've been doing this for so many years. It's just kind of second nature to me. And for those of you who are newer or really done a whole lot with your business yet, you're probably going, I have no idea where to start. And I can't even think Christmas is so far away. Why would I think about it now? Well, there's other holidays besides Christmas, first of all. Second of all, you have to think like a retailer, because that's what we are. We are retailers, and women love to buy. And so do men. I have a lot of male customers who buy, and I do cute gifts for them. I make them look like a hero with their moms and wives and daughters. And so it's very, and aunts, it's very possible to have a really great holiday selling season with the men too. So the first thing I want to ask you to do, and this is going to be an interactive class. So I'm hoping to not have to pick on anybody, and that I'll get some volunteers to answer some questions. Okay. The first thought I want you to think about is, what do you want for your holiday season to look like? How do you want this year to end up after you've had your sales, the holiday open house, Christmas sales, Pink Friday, all the things that we're going to talk about and start planning for now? What would you like that end result to be? Do you have a dollar figure in mind? I want to save a certain amount of money to take my family on a trip. Okay, Heidi, I want to be halfway to quart of sales. So break that down for me and jump on it and either type it or say what you want dollar-wise. Okay, Kelly, $4,500 in sales. Perfect. So you have an idea, you know what you want. That's the first step. You have to know what you want, because if you aim at nothing, you hit nothing. You've got to have a target. And it's not that it's the end all, because you may miss, you may not quite make it, but you'll be close, or over. You can't always rely on if it doesn't happen, then, it's a bad thing. All right. 4,500 in sales for Mary. Great. So with that, I want you all to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine what it's going to feel like when you're halfway to Queen's Court, when you're already on the Princess Court, Heidi. And when you already have $4,500 profit, we're talking profit, right? I'm talking profit, $4,500, almost $5,000 in profit by the end of the year, or whatever date you set. But I want you to just close your eyes. Imagine seeing that in your account. Imagine the happy faces that you've, made along the way with your customers, helping them with their gift giving needs, being their personal shopper. How does it feel? I know how it makes me feel. It makes me want to cry, because that's the beautiful part about what we do. We get to impact people's lives, and we get to make money at the same time. And so that's the first step, is write down your why. The second thing I want you to think about is, if it's Christmas for your children, or whatever that money's going to buy for you, whatever that is, think about what does it look like for you and your family Christmas morning? or whatever your goal is, the after effect. Really get a feeling for what you want and visualize and set your intention now for what it's going to feel like, smell like, taste, whatever it is, whether it's, a dining excursion or whatever. Incorporate all the senses that you can possibly incorporate. Maybe it's massages and someone's rubbing you all over and getting rid of those knots, right? Whatever that looks like, I want you to incorporate your senses, feel it. And then underneath where you're writing this down, I want you to actually write how that's going to feel. So I'll give you a second here just to go ahead and write it down and put some feeling and emotion into what it's going to feel like for you. And if you're new, it doesn't have to be grand and glorious. It can be, maybe you want to make an extra $1,000 in profit. I always say shoot for the moon, and dream big, but make sure that it's something realistic that you feel like, okay, I think I can do this. Think about how much money you spend on yourself with your Mary Kay. Okay. And then you can put that in perspective of how much money you can actually make, because we're our best customer. Who's also going to be positively impacted by that outcome? Is it a family? Is it a friend? Maybe you have a charity that you want to donate money to. Maybe you don't have any other reason, but you want to give money back to the Mary Kay Foundation or some other charity. How is that going to positively impact others? I want you to write that down as well. And what will you be able to do that you haven't been able to do before by accomplishing that? What will you be able to do that you haven't been able to do before just for accomplishing that? And then continue to think beyond Christmas morning. What's this new phase of life going to do for you and your family, moving into the new year? How is that going to impact? I can tell you. I'm going to tell you. It's called momentum. Once you start building that momentum, it's hard to stop it. Sometimes it's hard. And we used to talk about the priming the pump. If you ever had a pump where you were on a farm or somewhere and you had to raise the arm of the pump and lower it and raise the pump and lower it. It was hard. It was heavy, especially if you were young and little, but you had to pump and pump and pump and pump and use your muscle and get it done. And then once the water was flowing, you had momentum and it was easy. It wasn't so hard to push that lever down and get the water to flow out. That momentum is what doing what I'm talking about will do for you, building momentum. So now that you kind of have an idea what you want, you have an idea how it's going to feel, how it's going to positively impact others and yourself. What pattern of behavior are you going to have to change in order to accomplish it? What pattern of behavior? It might be what Denise was just talking about. We have fear and not fear. Fear, faith, fear, faith, fear, faith. Okay. Can't be in the same boat at the same time. There's only one or the other. It's a pretty black and white. We talk ourselves in and out of things and we continually create a gray area, but there really is no gray area. If you're not in faith and believing it's going to happen, then you're in fear. So what habit are you going to need to change? What belief barrier are you going to have to change and focus on breaking so that that can happen? And then evaluate what you want to keep doing once that happens. And then what would you like to eliminate? It's kind of like the $1 million habits that Denise shared a while back, which really are crucial, but just choose one thing. Start with one thing. Start with one thing. What do you think your biggest obstacle will be? We've always learned about overcoming obstacles while we're selling so that we can, overcome it before it becomes an obstacle. So I want you to do the same here. What obstacle do you need to overcome? And what do you feel like that obstacle would be? Whether it's a habit, whether it's, changing your sleep patterns, whether it's doing your weekly plan sheet, which we're going to talk about too. And then what habits or behaviors is it that you need to change? So evaluate what that obstacle might be and then what habit needs to change. And then, of course, imagine yourself feeling unmotivated, tired, overwhelmed, and visualize yourself making a different choice. Because I don't know about you, but at the end of the holidays, we're like so glad they're over. Can't wait to tear the tree down and get it back in the garage and tear down the Christmas decorations, right? The holidays are great and they're exciting and they're fun and festive and food and friends and family. And then we're done. We're like, whew, there's kind of that letdown. So imagine that and making a different choice. Like we're moving on to the next thing. We're letting that momentum carry us. It's not necessarily a letdown. It's just a next step in where you want to go with your business. So imagine being able to set your goal now for what you want at the end of the holiday season, focus on it, achieving it, feeling it, knowing you can do it, and then carrying it on to the next step, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's building your team. Maybe it's more money, whatever that looks like. All right. So that's the feely part of this that I really want everyone to just sink their teeth into, because that's what is going to drive you. It's that excitement. It's that passion for why you want it that's going to help you get through the holiday season and start this plan right. So the very first thing that I always recommend is you take a calendar or a weekly plan sheet, because our weekly plan sheet is crucial. I've had it throughout the years. We've had it since I joined, Denise joined. We've had it as part of our training in Mary Kay. And without it, I would have never gotten through school. I would have never, gotten as far as I did, because it helped me to find the discipline and find the time blocks that I needed. And on that weekly plan sheet or using your calendar, you need to have it go all the way through the end of the year. So you're going to want September, you're going to want October, you're going to want November, and you're going to want December. So if maybe a desk calendar works better, you can print stuff off online, use your weekly plan sheet and do it week by week, whatever you need to do to make it a visual for you. I don't recommend doing it on your electronic devices, because I think the mind sees it on the paper and it just is a little bit different. But whatever works for you. I'm not going to say it's not the right thing to do, but personally, I've seen it time and time again with myself and others. When you get away from the paper side of things, the brain doesn't stay as focused on it. So once you have your calendar and your weekly plan sheet, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put down all the activities you have. So we just got to save the date for our holiday open house. We know when that's going to be. Setup's going to be probably Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday. Tear down either Saturday night or Sunday morning. We can figure that detail out a little bit later, but you have one date. You know when Halloween's coming. You know where Thanksgiving is on the calendar. You can plan your family activities around it. Maybe you do tree trimming like for me, it's always the day after Thanksgiving. That's my time to put the tree up, put the Christmas decorations up. I do my Pink Friday sale. And while everybody's ordering online from me and texting me orders, I'm putting up Christmas decorations. But I know that that's my schedule, and I know that I always do my Pink Friday. And so, Mary, in answer to your question, we usually do it the very first weekend of November. So it's going to be Friday and Saturday, the 6th and the 7th. And we'll have more details to follow. So once we have those dates picked out, or traditions that we have with our family, then you could even do, plan a Prime Week. Get creative where you want to actually, set your schedule up. Things that that, okay, this is the date I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a Pink Friday week. For me, it's a tradition. And then the holiday open house is a tradition. Putting up my tree on a certain day is a tradition. So I have my own traditions, and those are going to go on your calendar first. Then delegate or ditch. Maybe you do Christmas cookie exchanges. I had to start saying no to some of the invitations that I was getting in the holiday season for everyone, Christmas parties and whatnot. I want to say yes to everything, FOMO, but I also want my goal to stay in the forefront of my mind. And having a weekly plan sheet or having it on the calendar will help you to be able to say yes to more of the fun things when you have a plan. However, make sure you're putting the important things down first. And that's also going to be putting down the things that are going to help you plan to get there. So the next thing I want to bring to your attention is making a list of who you are buying for the holiday season. For those of us who did PCP, we got to order our holiday stuff already. If not, that'll be Friday. And you're going to want some of this stuff. It's so nice. The body care sets, they smell so good. Who do you want to buy for? There's yourself. What about kids, cousins, aunts, school teachers? Think about who you have to buy for. Make that list. Then you're going to also want to contact customers and see how you can help them with their gift giving needs. As soon as you can show them the holiday products, you can start getting pre-orders and planning that. And that time frame that you're going to use to do that pre-selling needs to go on that calendar as well. So I'm going to set up, say, Friday afternoon to contact customers, or Tuesday morning, or whatever your schedule looks like. Just set that time aside and then stick to it. Now, doesn't mean that life doesn't happen and things get rearranged sometimes. That's life. But if you have it set on there already, the likelihood of you putting something else in that time slot is much less likely because you're already committed to it. Let's see. If you have kids, usually there's a calendar of what's going on in the school. So as far as Christmas plays, if they're in school, if they're in athletics, you kind of know when the games are, when school practice, practice for whatever, choir, those types of things you can actually get on that calendar right away as well. And having as much on there to, get off your brain is going to be helpful to your brain too. And then, of course, now that we have a date for a save the date for our holiday open house, we're going to want to send that out. Not yet, however, by October, the first week in October, that's when I start thinking about, okay, I've got to get my list of who I'm going to be sending this to, who am I going to be mailing postcards to, etc. And then you're going to also want to put delivery days. So if you're getting orders from your customers and you're out there promoting, pre-ordering while supplies last, I've got these, who do you have to buy for? This is what we have. I can package it up for you. They're pre-ordering, then you got to deliver it. So you want to set up a day or time or two in which to deliver all these. Then you're also going to need to set aside time to get them wrapped, make them cute, do the things that's going to, make their day. And in that you can get, teenage kids to help with that. You can get volunteers from schools who need to do community service. Talk to your neighbors, see who you know. Put the word out there that you need help with wrapping. I know Kelly's kind of a master at that. She's always done a really great job with all of the gift ideas that she's done in the holiday season. So start kind of putting your head in writing these questions down. Who, if you don't know right now, just write the question down. Who can I find that will help me wrap and or deliver? And if you have teenage kids that drive, you can have them to actually do the deliveries for you as well. And then maybe if you're new, just doing a shopping coffee, where they stop and shop and just kind of get to see everything, and you have prepackaged ideas and you can go to them or they can come to you. That's another idea. Make sure it gets put on your calendar. So sending the save the dates would be the next thing. And then we're going to move into the next holiday. So I'm going to share on InTouch. All right, hopefully everybody can see that. Shake your head yes if you can see that. Yes, okay, great. So on InTouch, under holiday selling, under products and Product Central, or just go to the search bar and type holiday sales. You have this great holiday selling and team building guide that the company puts together for you. And guess what? There's ideas for every month. In September, consider personal calendar commitments like we just talked about. Get those on the calendar. Set specific holiday season goal and timeline. Schedule your virtual and or in-person holiday open houses and save the dates. Download and share the open house invitation. There's an actual cute invitation and labels that you can get printed off to put on packages that are super cute. The company put those together for us. And then also holding your own beauty experiences. I love the pop-up party idea. We still want to be promoting the brand new skincare we came out with that is going to be featured in the holiday lookbook. They're going to see everything there. So this is something that I really think is amazing. The company does this for us. You don't need a whole lot from me or your director to tell you exactly what needs to happen. So you want to print this off, and it goes all the way through November. Talks about the pink weekend, December. Every month is listed, okay? So I love that the company does that for us. Let's see. Okay, I want to open it up to questions since we have a little bit more time. Sorry, I had a thing. Let's see.
April, I just wanted to, oops, I'm going to put it back on on gallery. I just wanted to just validate what you said about literally like putting it down in your calendar, the things that you're doing and when, because it can become like overwhelming all at once. But I love that idea of carving it out right now and having it assigned when you're doing which thing, getting ready for the open house and the holidays in general. So thank you for that great reminder.
Yeah, and even the time it's going to take you to actually organize that calendar or weekly plan sheet needs to be on your schedule too. So maybe it's a Sunday morning, maybe it's a Saturday morning, maybe it's Friday night. Pick a time when you have quiet time where you can actually dump and delegate, organize your schedule for the holidays, and kind of get that plan solidified in your mind, because until you do that, you're going to be running hairy scary. Like, oh, there's that idea, but then I got this and I got, if you plan it, people don't plan to fail. People don't, plan to fail. They fail to plan. Mary Kay's famous words. As we go through each holiday, October comes up, we have Halloween. We're going to be coming up with more ideas for what to do during Halloween to help promote your business. Right now, our team building is really our focus, adding people to our team so that we can grow and make everything count and do what Mary Kay asked by passing it on. And Mary Kay's words were set a goal and do something about it every day. So if you have just 10-minute sections of time that you can work on something, set a timer on your phone. Give yourself 10 minutes a day. If that's all you have, uninterrupted, that kind of time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you get. And Mary, Canva is super easy. Generally for the open house postcards, Heidi's got a template already that we'll be sharing. And if we want to get those printed, I can help everyone with that with Onnit Marketing too. I had them print mine last year. If you want me to help you with that, let me know. And if you download a list, I can get them mailed for you for 68 cents per postcard. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to plug that. That's what I do. Let's see. And Canva is super easy. It really is user friendly. What other questions did I miss on here?
So you guys, what I'll do this year, I think we've always used like our traditional holiday open house postcard, but it's in Publisher and not everybody has Publisher. So I think this year I'll create one on Canva and then I'll make a copy of it so that you can, and maybe I'll do a little tutorial to show you how to make your own copy, but that way you can put your own hours that you're going to be at the open house, because like we're all different. Maybe some of us are only going to be there for a couple hours, or we're going to schedule 15-minute appointments. So you'll be able to customize it to be whatever you want it to look like, and what hours you're going to be there. And then you can put your phone number on there and then print them out too. But we'll have a basic digital one too. That just is the blanket hours.
And in Canva, when you do a share, it shares the actual digital design file. So I've learned this working in marketing with the print company. It has to have a bleed and it has to have, there's two little check boxes under settings that have to be on there so that it doesn't cut anything off. But if you share that design file, if you just hit the share, they should be able to actually edit that themselves. Is that right, Heidi? So once you share that, everybody can alter it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, it shouldn't alter your original. It'll help them download as a template, right? They can save it as
Yeah, so I will save it as a template and then I'll share that template with you guys. And then when you go to click on the link to open it, it's going to say create a copy and you just hit yes.
Okay. Yeah, those margins and that bleed I've learned is really important when you're printing stuff. Any other questions or comments? Go ahead, Heidi.
Oh, I was just gonna say too that like you can save it from your, so like I like to use both my phone and my laptop for Canva, but you can go in and save it as a JPEG, like just a photo graphic to your phone, and then you can send it out by text or email or whatever from your phone if that's how you work your business. Or you can send them straight from Canva to your FedEx, local FedEx, which April's got really good deals with how she prints off stuff too, but I think you use FedEx, don't you?
No, I go through Onnit now.
Okay.
That's how I ended up. They wanted me because I kept sending people to them because they did such a great job on my open house postcards last year. I had them print them and the cost was less than what they did at the other places and the quality was high. So I got them the next day. Like you can either have them mail them and send them the list, or you can actually mail them. So it's up to you, but
That's
it's
cool.
68 cents a postcard. You can't hardly do that anywhere else. And then if you have a CSV list or Excel spreadsheet with the actual names and addresses of who they go to, they do all that for you. So
Is
to
that
me, it's worth
saves
it.
them, including
Saves time.
postage?
That includes the postage.
Wow, okay.
Right. That's why I kept saying, you guys need to use this because they'll do it all for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, because even stamps right now, I think it's 63 cents to send like a forever stamp right now.
Yeah, and
So,
color postcards on cardstock are not cheap either, so that
wow.
sounds really good.
No, and it's a high quality 300 GSM paper. So it's the heavier duty. And you can add, if you want to add a high gloss to it or something, you could, but just your basic, small postcard, 4 to a sheet, then think about working smart, not hard. That's for me is saving time, getting it out to my customers. I still like mailing them to them. And then it gives me a reason also to follow up. And if they moved, you get it back in the mail. So you know that their address has changed, and it gives you another reason to follow up with them as well. Because I found that happened when I mailed all those postcards last fall.
It just goes back to what you were saying about delegating, honestly. Like that's something that we can all delegate to somewhere
Yeah.
else.
And there's probably cheaper ways you can do it. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I did last year, what I will be doing this year, and that, that's the deal they have. So take it or leave it. If you want, contact me if you want me to give you more information on that. Any other questions, comments? I really just want you to feel what it felt like. Reprogramming our brain right now to start thinking about the holidays, and they're already in the stores.
Yep.
Already you can go in any store and you're seeing stuff for Christmas. I haven't been in Costco yet. Usually they're one of the first, but they'll have ribbons and artificial trees up already. And I know I've been into a couple of other stores and there's already, the holidays. It's just, we have to think like a retailer. And whether or not you do your own Pink Friday or Prime Week or whatever works for you, look at what the big companies are doing and mimic that, because that's how our customers are being conditioned by the big corporations, and we can follow that.
I like the idea of, maybe we could actually do a virtual holiday open house, where a few of us get on our Glamour Girls event page too, so that people who don't come, and then everybody can offer their own deal, to their customers. That's a thought that I had as well. And that's kind of fun to do earlier than later as well. So we'll talk about that as April and Heidi and I could talk about, like, if we want to do something like that and get it set up. Maybe right after the open house, so that we can encourage people to come in person, because they do buy more. In my experience, the average person spends a couple $100 that actually comes to my open house. So I don't have a ton of people, you guys. I invite a lot, and I could sometimes do better at follow-up, which would give me a little bit more. But this last year was the first year we had it at the new location, and it was still about the same amount of sales, because people who come in person and encourage them to bring a friend, if you can get them there, the eye buys, and they see the gift ideas, they see how beautiful the products are, you can help them shop on their feet instead of their feet. I would say just getting them there, you're going to really increase. So incentivize them to get there. So I like the idea of doing that, but also maybe doing a virtual to catch all the other ones that didn't.
I think that's great. And that also needs to go onto the calendar of the follow-up once you do the mailings.
Yeah.
Once they get mailed out,
So true.
on your calendar needs to be follow-up time.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, if you just do 10 minutes a day, at the end of the week, that's what 5 times 10 is 50. It's almost an hour's worth of phone calls. Make it 15 minutes and you got even more. So it doesn't take a long time. It just takes small chunks of time, but it does need to go on your schedule so that you are committed to doing it and setting it in your mind. What do I need to do? And so last but not least, I want to bring up the 6 most important things list. Review that calendar on an evening basis. Okay, what do I have going on tomorrow? What do I need to do? Put it on your 6 most important things to do list before you go to bed at night. You're just writing 6 things down for your business. You can have a personal one too, but whatever it is for your business, maybe it's okay. First thing, I'm going to do my 15 minutes of phone calls, or, whatever that, or get the postcards done. Start setting that up and getting consistent about putting it into your brain, putting it and letting it out of your brain is really what it's about when you're putting it on your weekly plan sheet and when you're doing your 6 most important things list. Your productivity is going to go up. You're going to have less stress. You're going to have more happy customers. And, you know, when mama's happy, everybody's happy. So be happy, plan ahead and get that schedule started. And that's really all I think I wanted to say. You know, I have so many more ideas, but this is the time to start getting the planning phase going and save the dates and, you know, starting to plan and talk to your director about ideas if you're not sure what to do. And Mary Kay, another quote from her was, giving is one of life's greatest joys. Those who are able to experience this joy daily and get paid for it are indeed fortunate. All right. Thanks, Kim.
April, could you repeat that? It kind of cut out for a sec.
Oh, sure. Giving is one of life's greatest joys. Those who are able to experience this joy daily and get paid for it are indeed fortunate. Mary Kay Ash.
Love it. It is so true. So true. Anytime you're not feeling good about yourself or anything, go help somebody. Takes your attention off of what you got going on and puts you in a state of gratitude. It's a game changer.
It totally is.
Yeah.
Well, I asked Deb if she would do an inspirational close. If nobody else has any questions or comments about anything, let me check the chat real quick. Thanks for getting on, Kenzie. Yeah, paper planner, it's a game changer. It really is. You can do it electronically, but having it in front of you, your brain just responds to it differently. I don't know why. Mine does. I'll have to look up and do some research on it someday when I have time, but it really does. I just know the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
All right, if there was nothing else, did I miss anybody in the chat? If so, jump on real quick and let me know. All right. I think that's everything. Okay, Debbie, if you're ready, you want to share our inspirational close tonight?
I am ready. So some of you may have seen this on Facebook this week. It was from Christian Sharp. And it goes, Happy Monday, fresh week, fresh goals. Start off your week with this mantra. And really, I'm reading it out loud so you can really absorb it. You are courageous. You are powerful. You are victorious. You are important. You are smart. You are resourceful. You are unstoppable. And you are loved.
Reminds me of Stuart Smalley on Saturday Night Live. Because gosh darn it, people like me. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you, April. That was just exactly what we needed. And thank you, Deb.
Thanks, everyone. I can't wait to see you next week or this Friday with guests at Edie's debut at the Holiday Inn Express off Vista. And it's going to be fun. So bring some guests. Start inviting now.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, ladies.
Good night.